Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Bruce with Hello Woodlands, and we have a very special guest, Nick Davis with Guaranty Bank and Trust in Conroe. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nick.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, and so we know that you guys are very involved with the community and are very essential, especially during this time. And so I would love to share you to share a little bit more about yourself and Guaranty Bank and Trust.
Sure. So I'm the market president for the bank here in Montgomery County. Guaranty Bank and Trust has been around here in Texas for 107 years and recently entered into the Houston market about 2 years ago. I was with Westbound Bank at the time, and Guaranty Bank and Trust acquired Westbound Bank and asked for me to stay on and manage the operations for Montgomery County here. And long time bank, but small town roots when it comes to it. So very happy to be here.
Awesome, fantastic. And yeah, and I know that normally and all the time that you guys are so involved with our community. You constantly give back. It's with drives and shred day and so many other things. But I know that during COVID-19, you guys have definitely stepped up and not only helped your customers, but are ready to help small business owners as well.
Yeah, no, we've been very blessed from that standpoint. Now, when COVID-19 hit, it kind of broadsided all of us bankers from the standpoint of, I get so many jokes about bankers hours and things like that. And then it turned all of a sudden into a 14 to 16 hour a day, 7 day a week deal, helping all of the small businesses in the community. And when the Paycheck Protection Program rolled out, that was our sole focus is, hey, how can we go out and help as many small businesses in our community as we possibly can? And just like how the medical, doctors and professionals are helping out individuals impacted from a health standpoint, that's kind of what us bankers turned into. We were kind of like the triage doctors for all the small businesses here in our community, and we wanted to do everything we could to help out as best we could. Because when you've got businesses that are shutting down and being closed and trying to figure out how they're going to pay the bills and keep their employees paid, that's where we came in. And fortunately, we got on top of things as quickly as we possibly could to get information out to our customers. And that was very confusing in and of itself because the SBA changed the rules on that, quite a bit as we were going on. And we were trying to get as accurate information out as we could and trying to get our customers through that process, get money in their hands so then they can turn around and do what they needed to do to help protect their business and not worry about necessarily where every penny was going to come from to do so. So we were very happy that we were able to get that rolled out. So.
Yeah, and as a small business owner myself, I know that the rules constantly changed, and I know it was the floodgates were, just automatically were open. And tell me a little bit about how COVID-19 and working with the SBA and even, operating as a bank and working with clients, are people able to come into the bank, or how are you able to work with the SBA to actually fund the PPP programs and other loan programs?
Yeah, so we had to change a lot of the way that we do business through this whole process. The difficult part with COVID-19 is you can't see it. You don't know where it is. How it's going to impact you. So just from an operational standpoint, we made some changes at the bank. We shut down our lobbies for access to the public. We had employees start working from home. We had portions of our staff working from home, getting them set up to remote in and work from home. So in case an employee became impacted by COVID-19, we didn't have to quarantine the entire operations and just shut the entire bank down. Being an essential business and trying to help small businesses at the same point in time, we couldn't afford to have a location just go completely shut down. So we put our staff on rotations for 2-week rotations, where we'd have portions of our staff out and then portions of them working here in the bank. So I'm very fortunate to have an unbelievable team here at the bank, and everyone just kind of started picking up and chipping in wherever they possibly could and doing things that they wouldn't necessarily normally do on a day in, day out basis. And our team just really, I've got a great team to start with, and just became so much stronger during this process. So we really had to reinvent how we kind of do operations, and also from a technological standpoint, really pushing forward on a lot of different things that we had already been working on. Because nowadays, when people go inside and step inside of a bank, you might not see them again because they can use their phone to do their banking, that kind of deal. So we push forward a lot of different initiatives on trying to help out customers do that, because everyone is kind of quarantined and staying at home, and staying at their place of work. And how can we as a bank reach out to them and help them through that time? So even on the Paycheck Protection Program, we're getting it set up to where people can send all their information to us directly, through secure email links and sites, and we're communicating them through Zoom meetings, just like you and I are doing right now. I didn't even know what a Zoom meeting was hardly before this whole thing started, and now it seems like that's almost how every conversation that I have goes nowadays. So a lot of changes through that standpoint, and we've been from a technological standpoint, our bank is top of the line as it relates to that, and very, very pleased with how we've kind of evolved through this process.
And I know with just the various PPP, it almost seems like there's been phases of what small businesses can ask for, how much they're able to get in return, or how have you been able to kind of work with the SBA and kind of work with different types of small businesses? I know there's been a lot of questions regarding, like how much you get per employee. Is there a set amount? I know there was a first phase and then they ran out of money and then they reopened it again, which was amazing. And then it seems like it's a little bit more, it's of course, as expected, it's money runs out, things change. Can you describe a few of the changes that have been in the past and what we're kind of seeing right now with working with the SBA, or the available grants and loans that might be available to small business owners and even self-contractors or anyone else in that field?
Yeah, so the Paycheck Protection Program rolled out April 3rd, and here we are May 6th, and the SBA is still coming out with additional clarification and guidance on how to apply for a loan and how your payroll is calculated, so to speak. It's been very interesting. We've had a lifeline directly through the Houston district office of the SBA, and then there's industry trade groups that work directly with the SBA that we work with as well. So we're almost getting kind of a live feed of information flowing out from the SBA. So as additional clarification and guidance came out, we were getting that information as soon as it was issued. The difficult part is whenever you've got an entire nation impacted by something like this. It's not like just, we had a hurricane hit Houston and, FEMA or whoever is coming in to help us out. This is something that just impacted our entire nation. And Congress and the SBA and the Treasury Department all got together and rolled this program out extremely quickly. And we all know that it's very difficult to take a one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to something like this, and no business is alike. So we've had some obstacles through that process as far as trying to understand and identify how you calculate payroll for different types of businesses. And I think we've become pretty good experts on the subject matter thus far. And they rolled out when they rolled out the second phase of this, when the new 310 billion came out in phase 2, we had it down pretty good, and really helping out small businesses through the process. It's been unbelievable. We've rolled out about $210 million in loans to small businesses here in the across the state of Texas. We've helped out over approximately 2,000 businesses through this program, and we've also helped support about 25,000 jobs through that program. So if anyone has questions as to, well, I don't even know how to calculate my payroll, here's my information. I'm telling them, hey, just dump it all to us. We'll call through it as quickly as we can, and we'll help you with that calculation. So I don't want them to feel lost in how do I do this and get paralyzed and just trying to figure out what they're eligible for. I say, hey, get it to us. We'll have a conversation. We'll get on the same page and help calculate that for you, and we can roll from there. So.
Awesome. And then I know that many SBA was first recommending banks, small business owners and individuals to go immediately to the bank that they currently have a lending relationship with. Are you now accepting small businesses that do not have a lending relationship, or just looking for a bank to work with to be able to apply for these SBA loans and grants in the PPP?
Yeah, so when this first rolled out, it was like a tidal wave hitting all banks, and we originally focused on all of our existing customers and what can we do to help them out. And honestly, I'm kind of glad we did, because what might have possibly been a lot of customers still waiting in the pipeline whenever the funds ran out in phase one, and thankfully we were able to get every single customer approved in phase one that had submitted a complete application to us before the funds ran out. I honestly didn't want to look anyone in the eye and say, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to get to you in time. So when phase two rolled out, we still were helping. We had additional customers coming to us, and we've been helping them out. We also have now rolled that out to non-customers. So if there's customers if there's businesses that have been kind of left out in the cold, so to speak, and they haven't heard back from their bank in 3 weeks, 4 weeks since they applied, we are reaching out to those customers, or if they're reaching out to us, we're doing what we can to help them out. Latest numbers, there's less than $100 billion left in this $310 billion phase two. So the money is running out fairly quickly. I anticipate it'll probably maybe last, maybe another couple of days at the rate that it's been going. So I'm encouraging businesses to, if you haven't heard back and you're needing some help, as quickly as you can, try to get with a bank or us, that can help you out through that process, and we'll do the best we possibly can to try to get your business a PPP authorization. I can't guarantee that we can get it done, because I just don't know when that money rolls out, but definitely we'll do our best to do so for them. So.
That's fantastic news. Yeah, and it's because I know that it has been a struggle for some business owners to connect and even reach out to their bank. I mean, especially you hear stories and reports of some of the larger banks having, it's kind of these brands that might just kind of push aside some of their customers. So it's absolutely fantastic news to be able to see that there is an opportunity for people to still, approach y'all's bank and be able to see if they can get those funds if possible, and at least develop a relationship with a bank that's willing to work with them.
And that's one of the joys of being a community banker, and that's why I've always prided myself on being a community banker. One, I mean, we're involved in the community. You'll see us at the local Rotary Club or the Lions Club, or at the Montgomery County Fair, or you'll see us at school functions, things like that. And one of the benefits of working with a community bank is oftentimes you're dealing with that decision maker. You're dealing with the person that, if you've got an issue and you need to go to someone on, you can pick up the phone and you can get a hold of me. You can get in your car and you be in my office in 5 or 10 minutes and get to someone, as opposed to calling a 1-800 number and who knows where, and not knowing who you're talking to, and knowing within 2 seconds of getting on the call with that person, nope, I'm not talking to the right person. I need to get someone else, because I'm not going to get my answer here. And on top of that, since we are heavily invested in the community, leads to 2 other reasons. One is the portion of our profits that we generate here at the bank, we give back to the community. So we donate to local nonprofit organizations, local school organizations. We do a lot of charitable type things in the community. And then also that money that our customers are depositing with us, we're not shipping it off to another state or that kind of deal. We're turning around and we're reinvesting that. We're lending it to local businesses within our community. And I'm extremely proud to call myself a local community banker. And through this whole Paycheck Protection Program deal, to kind of be at the forefront of helping out small businesses and knowing the impact that you're having has been great. So I'm very, very happy. I mean, through this program, through this process, I mentioned earlier that we've kind of been like the triage doctors for small businesses. You know, whenever we're getting to sit there and go to the business owner and say, hey, I've got some funds for you in this program. You know, here it is. We're going to get it to you as quickly as we can. Just to hear the responses from those business owners, because you know, that's their baby, that's their life right there. And when we're able to help them, you know, support that process and hear the, you know, hear the tears of joy, you know, just coming across the phone, or the sigh of relief, or what, you know, just hearing those reactions, I mean, has just hit me right, you know, right here in the heart. I mean, just knowing that that's the kind of impact that we're having and helping people with their livelihoods has been very inspirational to me in this process, and proud to be a community banker here in Montgomery County. It's been awesome.
And yeah, supporting local and being involved in the community, it completely makes a difference. It's been amazing to see the stories that, you know, that have been truly heartbreaking, but then also the stories that, you know, when people have been funded, it just totally makes a huge change, and to be able to keep jobs and businesses going and doors open, and the progressing events that have been happening over the last couple of weeks. You know, I know that just like everyone, there's been so many changes across so many industries. How do you think COVID-19, and I know we still have probably a lot more changes and updates to go forward, coming forward in the upcoming days and weeks and months to come, how do you think COVID-19 has already changed, and how it will affect the banking industry in the long term?
Well, funny story, real quick. So one impact it's had so far is, you know, everyone's wearing masks, and we as bankers traditionally, we don't like when people walk into the bank whenever they've got a mask on. You know, we usually start running for the hills whenever we see something like that. So it's, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that continues to play out, and how banks respond, and having individuals, once our, you know, banks lobbies are open back up and people are wearing masks, how do we handle that? So the whole entire banking community is still putting, you know, policies and procedures as it relates to that, and how we're going to handle that. Hasn't been finalized yet, but yeah, us bankers aren't used to seeing something like that, for example, coming through our front doors. So that's going to have an impact. The other impact is, you know, I think there's still going to be a lot of people that are a little hesitant to get out and go about their normal business and routine. And so what are the things that we can do to, you know, make it easier for customers to interact with us from afar, not necessarily being to be, you know, face to face with one another. So we've accelerated even things simple as opening up an account online. We've had that capabilities in the past, but how do we make that process even smoother and even easier? And, you know, how can we cut that time frame down from, you know, taking someone 30 minutes to open up an account online, to how can you get them to be able to do it in 5 minutes? And so those from a technological standpoint, those are things that we've been working on and focusing on. And you know, how do you improve your banking app, you know, to make it even more user friendly, and ability for customers to do even more things through their banking app and through on their phones. So continuing to make advances in those areas are things that I think banks are going to be looking for. But I can't tell you how I'm going to feel whenever I see that first person walking through the bank doors with a mask on. My 25 years of banking experience is going to kick in, and I'm going to get a little nervous. So we'll see how it goes.
I completely did not think about that, but yes, that is a good thought. And I think we're always, you know, it's one of the things that I've heard is that, you know, you can't even see people smile. That's one of kind of the things that, and finding new ways to connect. And thankfully it's so, you know, from the power of Zoom and still being able to connect and engage, and kind of seeing where it goes day by day. And and it's thrilling to see that you guys can actually connect with your customers still on a virtual and level that are not in the lobbies as well. And so if someone wanted to, as a small business or customer, a new potential customer in the community wanted to reach out to you guys, what would be the best way for them to connect with Guaranty Bank and Trust?
So if they wanted to get some information in regards to the bank, they can always visit our website, is www.gnty.com. As it relates to the Paycheck Protection Program, we do have a section within our website in our SBA lending group where they can get information, and they can actually apply for the PPP directly online there. If they're looking for us locally, we have our location here in Montgomery County is on South Loop 336 in Conroe, just west of the freeway. So we're, kind of smack dab between downtown Conroe and the Woodlands. So very convenient from a standpoint of, if you need to get to the medical center in the Woodlands, you're there in five minutes. If you need to be in downtown Conroe, you're there in 5 minutes. And our local number here is 936-788-5600. And they can get with one of our representatives, and we'll be happy to direct them wherever they need to go to take care of them. So.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your hard work and working with so many small business owners and customers and people that are trying to fund their business and move forward through this crisis, and for all of the hard work and long hours and all of the support that you've given to our community. We very much appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's our privilege, and it's not just us here at Guaranty Bank through this process. We've got a lot of great community banks and community bankers here in Montgomery County. We're very fortunate to have a fairly tight-knit community here, and I know all those bankers have been doing the same thing that we've been doing here. So my hat's off to them as well through the process and helping out all the small businesses that they've done as well. So I think all of us bankers are proud to have done that, and we were fortunate just to watch the Blue Angels fly over here just a little while ago. So I hope all of our medical personnel were able to see that as well. As a sense of pride and hope, getting to see those fighter jets come over just a little while ago. They flew directly right over our bank, and I was chanting USA, while they're going through that. So there's a lot of hope out there, and we're doing everything we can from a financial standpoint to help those businesses through this. I appreciate you having me today, Jen.
Thank you so much. And this is Jennifer Bruce with HelloWoodlands.com. For more information about Guaranty Bank and Trust, visit our website. And in the article, we will have all the information of how you can connect with their local bank here in Montgomery County. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.